Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts with breaking news.
That breaking news, a fiery blaze erupting late last night, forcing crews to fight those flames for hours.
That's right. We want to take you to that scene right now. Maria Cade is live out there for us this morning. Maria, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Aaron and Cerise, this happened at Bumper and Auto just before midnight, late last night. Again, we do want to give you a look at the scene here because crews from Omaha Fire Department, they're still cleaning up, putting the final pieces on that investigation here and wrapping that up right now. As I say that, the portion of 13th Street where this happened and where Bumper and Auto is located, that's between Hickory and Center. That portion of the street is still closed. Jared's going to talk about that in just a little bit, but just want to give you that update and that heads up as you head out today. But we also want to show you a little bit of what this scene looked like earlier this morning when that fire was really going. Again, it broke out just before midnight. There was a lot of smoke and flames that was coming from the building. When Omaha Fire arrived at the scene, they started attacking the fire from inside of the building. Then Battalion Chief Kobe Warner told us that they stayed inside there fighting the fire for about 40 minutes, but then the crews were pulled out and they fought the fire from the outside, and that's when the fire started coming through the top of the roof.
It looks like quite a bit of damage. Like I said, the fire is already through the roof. I've got reports of some of the roof that's already collapsed inside the structure. So once we get the fire under control, put out, our investigators will get in there, do a thorough investigation. We should be able to get a better estimate on the damages.
And again, they were inside the first 40 minutes that the crews got here on the scene, fighting the fire from the inside before they came to the outside. And Kobe Warner says that this fire was particularly dangerous for them.
A lot of auto parts in there. The fire's coming through the roof already. We initially had crews on the roof trying to ventilate the structure. It started to get a little soft and spongy, so in those conditions it can be very dangerous for firefighters. That's the reason we pulled everybody out from inside the structure, pulled everybody off the roof, and decided to go exterior on this one.
And again, there was nobody inside the building at the time, so luckily there were no injuries. That investigation's still happening now. Of course, like we said, the road is still closed from this short portion while they figure out and assess how much these damages are going to cost in the future. Aaron and Cerise, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Maria, okay, thank you so much for that report. All right, it's good to have you with us as we start off this Thursday morning. I'm Erin Hartley.
I'm Cerise Cole with Jared Lansford, Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. Rusty, you're going to be the man of the hour, the man of the day. We're talking some great weather today.
Enjoy these 24 hours.
Today. Everybody's going to be the guy.
All right. Let's talk about what we have going on because you got a beautiful sunrise out there. Finally get some milder air in here. This is going to be the warmest day we've had so far in January, and likely to be the warmest day we will have for quite a while, at least the best today anyway. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We're at 35 right now, feels like number 27 with a light wind, and most of us are in the 30s. Occasionally we're getting some dips down into the 20s though, 29 in Plattsmouth, 30 in Shenandoah, 30 in Atlantic, 27 in Harlan, but most of these numbers are 10 to 20 degrees warmer than this same time yesterday, so you're heading outside to a little more enjoyable air as you get rolling. Now the winds, they're light, but enough that it's helping to prop the temperature up a little bit. These are 5 to 10 miles per hour. They'll not really be much of a factor today. Could gust to 20 early, but I think that might be a little bit over the top. They'll switch. Later on today, they're out of the south. And by the end of the day, they'll be pretty light and out of the south. So just note the wind direction may change, and that's going to help keep the temperature somewhat mild during the overnight hours tonight. Now notice by noon, we're up into the 40s, mid 40s by lunchtime. We go upper 40s, could have a few 50s on the map. This model suggesting that most of us fall just short, but overall, it looks like things are going to work out in our favor for a very mild day today. Now, the reason I say today is the best because you don't see any wind streamlines on this map. That means that fairly light. Tomorrow, we're going to throw that into the equation, and I'll show you that here in a bit. But you can see overnight tonight, numbers fall off into the 30s. We just don't fall too fast. And look at these south winds that start to pick up a little bit overnight. And that likely means we hold the numbers in the 30s yet again tonight, heading into tomorrow morning. And we'll start off by tomorrow morning down in the lower 30s as we get the day going and then set the stage for what should be another pretty mild day. But this 49 is going to be different tomorrow. Some clouds will move in late and the winds will kick up in the afternoon, bringing in the early signs of that cold air. Now, I think we can get to 49 before that happens. Then we start to tail off a little earlier than we usually do in the afternoon. This 49 may be closer to 1, 2 o'clock as opposed to the 3 or 4 that we see our high temperature this time of year. And then the numbers start to back off pretty quickly. There's the wind gusts for Friday. So pretty calm in the morning. We get to noon and we're talking 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts. And you see the arrows here. They're out of the north during the day. And that's going to start to send in the colder air. And the big changes on the way this weekend. You will notice first alert 2, a pretty nasty stretch here as we see Friday with the wind kicking in. Cold air starts to move in Friday night into Saturday, but it just keeps getting colder. Wind is going to be a factor each of these days. Likely to see those wind chills dip below 0 both days, but that's just kind of the start of it.
I know. It's too bad. We have these nice days,
Yeah.
and then the weekend.
Yeah.
We just slowly fall down. Beyond that, how are we looking?
Yeah, get that reminder it's winter, and we got a couple of first alert days beyond this because we're going to get in the core of this colder air and see numbers that we haven't seen yet. I think we're going to have morning lows below 0 both Monday and Tuesday morning to watch out for. Coldest air of the season poised to line up Monday and Tuesday of next week. That's why we have first alert 6 weather days, and Monday it's going to be a day where we likely don't climb out of the single digits. Here's what it looks like when you put some numbers to it. So 49 today, 49 in wind tomorrow, 18 Saturday, 11 on Sunday. I will say, Jared and I were putting together the forecast this morning. Sunday is trending colder. We'll see if that starts to match up a little closer to Monday, but overall, I'm mostly worried about these sub-zero morning lows as we start off Monday and Tuesday. The inability to warm on Monday, and then Tuesday morning, most of the kids will be heading back to school with sub-zero lows and could have wind chills in the double digits below 0. I think most those 2 mornings, Monday and Tuesday morning, could have wind chills as cold as 20 below. So that's what we'll have to watch for. So quite a whiplash there in the weather.
Yeah.
Enjoy today. As you can see, we haven't had one like it and may not for a while.
We know what those kiddos are going to be doing on Monday. That's a stay inside kind of day.
Yeah,
Watch some movies.
Gonna do that kind of thing.
At risk of labeling myself George Costanza, I'm looking at that forecast Saturday to Tuesday, and I'm looking at soup mode.
There you go. Yeah, without a doubt. Chili and soup.
For sure. All right, we got a new crash. Blair High Road.
Yeah, you know, Blair High, we've had some issues.
Trouble spot in the morning.
Last few mornings.
Yeah.
And this is a crash as people are trying to come in toward 680 from the north. So a lot of people that try to use that area in the morning. Now, I could say we are getting through here in okay shape, but you can see it is slowing down as a result of this crash. So right near Potter is where we have this, and it's actually on the left shoulder is where we have this one. That's a little more unusual. Usually that ends up on the right shoulder. So watch that left-hand side as you head through that stretch. You can see some of the delays approaching 680 at this time. Far from the only issue that we have out the door, though. Let's head further to the east, and I've been watching this situation. Traffic lights that have been malfunctioning on Chandler at the JFK interchange, right where the off and on ramps are. Temporary stop signs in place. Let's check in and see if it's going a little bit better than when we checked in at the end of the show where we had people just blowing right through the situation. You want to treat this as an always stop. Oh, there's a truck that's not obeying traffic laws. Thankfully, it looks like we're doing better here with obeying this, but you can see how the lights are just flashing incessantly, and you want to make sure that you're obeying those stop signs that are in place there. Again, that's Chandler at the JFK interchange. Another thing to mention, you heard Maria mention the closure on 13th between Hickory and Center. That's a route a lot of people use to go to and from downtown. And so your alternate routes that you can use while that's still closed, use 10th Street, use 16th Street, and those are good options to get north and south. You, likely if you're coming in on I-80, will still need to exit at 13th, but then you just make your way to 10th or 16th, take that north or south. We'll give you a first alert when that does open back up. So we've got a few different items that we're watching this morning. We'll keep you posted on the latest with that and give you an overview of how things are going throughout the metro in a bit.
Okay, Jared, thank you. Happening today, a prayer walk for the victims of a deadly shooting in North Omaha. This happened last weekend near 24th and Binney. One person was killed, 4 other people were hurt. We have now learned no charges will be filed. Prosecutors say 37-year-old Brandon Jones was asked to leave an after party. He left, but then came back with a gun. He fired shots with people in a crowd, shooting back in self-defense. Jones died from his injuries. That prayer walk, though, is set for 5 p.m.
A major court decision in a shocking murder case where one of the suspects was 11 years old. That child will not face charges. Mursal Jama was shot and killed as he got home from working as an Uber driver. The judge sided with medical professionals who said the 11-year-old was not competent to stand trial. For now, the child will remain in a group home. We'll be right back on First Alert 6 streaming. All right, we've been talking about how nice today is going to be, but we have to talk about their first alert days, Monday and Tuesday, because you do not want to be caught off guard.
Yeah, the cold air is going to be rolling in this weekend. The coldest of the air is going to be early next week, and that's why we made Monday and Tuesday first alert weather days. It's mostly for the entire day Monday, and we threw Tuesday in there because of the morning, because we'll have sub-zero morning lows again. Both mornings will start off below zero. But it looks like into the afternoon on Tuesday, we'll start to see some improvement. The coldest air of the season on the way. You can see here, we won't even get out of the single digits on Monday. Wind chills both mornings could be as cold as 20 below. So we're going to be watching a lot of things here as this cold air moves in. We've been cold. This will be the coldest by the numbers that we have had so far this season. Mostly in the 30s out there this morning. Couple of 20s are showing up. 27 Harlan, 29 in Plattsmouth. So where the wind calms down, the temperature is dropping a little bit. And it's giving us some up and down temperatures as you drive around. And you can see the wind right now for the most part is about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for today, we'll be right around 30 degrees to start, making a run at 50 this afternoon. Today's the best day with the sunshine and the lack of wind combo that we will have. Now, let me talk more about those winds for Friday that will start to return here. You'll notice this is about 10 o'clock tonight. South winds picking up. Then overnight, not much to worry about, but enough wind that it's going to help prop the number up and keep us fairly mild. So we likely start off in the 30s again tomorrow. And you'll notice then late morning into the afternoon. Look at this, about 1 o'clock on Friday. Cold air already starting to move in. Most of us have wind gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour by 1 o'clock, and then that continues to be the case even into the evening and overnight hours, as some of those gusts still could hit 30 to 40 overnight Saturday night, or I should say Friday night into Saturday morning while you're sleeping. So it's going to be a blustery night, and then all night long it'll just funnel cold air our direction. Could even have a few flurries with that as well. They're very small potential, but you can see a couple little stripes trying to show up overnight, and that could bring us a few little batches of some snowflakes. But again, we're talking flurries, just not a lot there. Windy conditions on Friday, though, and that'll transition into the overnight. Likely still be with us on Saturday. Breezy conditions, that means probably gusts less than 30 miles per hour on Sunday, but still, when temperatures are that cold, any wind is going to sting, and then it leads us into that first alert day on Monday there, with likely the core of the coldest air sometime in that Monday time frame.
Yeah, we're getting the cold. We're just not getting the snow. In this 10-day outlook, any chance for any kind of precipitation?
We sound like a broken record, but I like to touch on it every single day because that is a top of mind with a lot of people. Getting some moisture, getting some snowfall. and nothing over the next 5 days aside from some flurries. You look even beyond that, there's just no hope of any snow. It's going to be pretty mild. We need some moisture. And again, we like to check in on this list and show you where we're at. We should have a little over 11 inches of total snow so far this season. We've had one. Last year we had 15 on the ground by this point in the season. So you can see these are the three main reporting points and where records are kept. So this is always on our website, by the way. If you want to check this out, it'll update daily from the day before, give you an idea of what the numbers are looking like, and we'll see what happens as we head towards the end of January. I fear we may be into early February before we see any significant signs of this kind of changing up a little bit.
I fear we're going to get plummeted in February with snow.
You know, averages become averages for a reason. Hopefully we don't make up for it.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's get a check of traffic. You have an update on that crash on Blair High Road.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of traffic trying to go through that area. So I want to give you a view of what we've got going on with this crash. So you'll notice it's over on the left shoulder. Coming towards you is the traffic heading southbound, and you can kind of see the flashing lights. And if you can't, I'm walking over here. We'll circle it for you so you can see it a little bit better here. Right there is the crash that we've got there on the left shoulder. So everyone's staying right to get through there, but you can see there's a lot of traffic heading through that stretch. So be prepared for it to be a little bit slower as you head through there. Let me back this up here. There we are. And you can see the delays now extend back toward about State Street as you're trying to head through this stretch toward 680. So anywhere through there, expect it to be slow as you make your way past that crash right there. Now, what we're also looking at was traffic light issues that are happening on Chandler at the JFK interchange on the east side of that interchange. So as you're coming off of northbound JFK or looking to head to the northbound JFK, that's where we have our issues. Temporary stop signs are in place, so you need to treat that as an all-way stop. Some people aren't, so use a little extra caution as you're heading through that stretch. You can see things slowing down as people use caution and do what they're supposed to with the traffic laws through there. We also still have that situation on 13th Street. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but that road is still closed between Hickory and Center. One more thing I did want to get to real quick here, though. Coming eastbound, right near 32nd, this is a new construction area with some lane restrictions. A lot of people take this to get to 480 or to head toward the Creighton campus or over to the airport. So that's in place through Tuesday. We could see some slowdowns as traffic continues to pick up this morning. Otherwise, aside from what I've mentioned, some of those busiest intersections a little slow, but mostly moving along in okay shape.
All right, Jared's super busy this morning. We need to get you a cape. All right, Jared, thank you. Well, Governor Jim Pillen lays out his priorities during his State of the State address.
He said he feels better than ever as he recovers from that horse riding accident last month. His goals include more conversation on tax reform, banning the sale of lab-grown meat, and getting Nebraska to change to a winner-take-all system.
Now, more than ever, it's vital that our state speaks with a unified voice on the national stage. For 3 decades, under current allocation of electoral college votes by congressional district, we have divided our voice and diminished our impact in presidential elections. Not one of our fellow states, except for one, has followed down this path. Now is the time to fix it.
Senator Lauren Lippincott introduced that winner-take-all bill last week. Earlier this week, we told you about unfit conditions at an Omaha apartment building.
Well, there are legal rights you can take if you find yourself in a similar situation. Some things you can do. You can reach out to code enforcement, write a 14 to 30-day letter to your landlord, or connect with a tenants union. You can pay to repair the problem yourself and deduct it from your rent if your landlord did not honor your request. You can also reach out to an attorney.
We have grants and programming, and people fit in all sorts of ways into our services. So I think if you're having issues with your landlord, it's worth calling us.
You are a tenant in need of legal advice. We do have contacts on our website for you. Just go to firstalert6.com. Well, a top 10 showdown in Ames, Iowa.
The historic milestone for the Iowa State Cyclones, JT Ulseberger, when First Alert 6 comes back.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, just over a month after Creighton did it, Iowa State also knocked off Kansas 74-57. It was TJ Otzelberger's, is that right? Okay.
You got it.
12th win over a top 10 team as the Cyclones head coach, putting him in a tie with Johnny Orr for the program record. There are talks about this team maybe making it to, being a championship team this year.
I will say we had it wrong on the bottom there. It's number two. Iowa State.
Number 2
We had
Iowa State.
Never been that high in the rankings before.
How do you guys feel this morning?
Pretty good.
It feels pretty good.
It's not too bad.
Thorough whooping.
I have a Jayhawk at home, and he was very sad last night.
There's a lot of Jayhawk, Iowa State back and forth in the Weather Center, even in the newsroom too. So that was a good one.
Yeah.
Being on the good side of that.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
We'll see how February. They play again in February down in Fog Allen, so hopefully we can beat them there.
That's a different territory, I hear.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday morning. We're going to get ready for our update in today's show. You can, of course, watch it on our streaming, or you can watch it over the air.
That's right. Have a great start to your Thursday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. Another crash to talk to you about this morning. We'll check in with Jarrett Lansford.
In Blair High, we're having a rough time working around this one. This is southbound as you are approaching 680. It's actually at the intersection with Potter, and the left shoulder is blocked as a result of this. So there's our crash. You can see the flashing lights that are in place, everyone having to stay off to the right as they work around that one. So watch for that. That's a place where we're seeing slowdowns. We also have Chandler at the JFK ramps. The traffic lights malfunctioning. Treat that as an always stop. There are temporary stop signs in place, but a little slower as you head through that stretch. Rusty.
All right, thanks, Jarrett. Let's talk about where temperatures are. They've been bouncing around a lot. We dipped to 32. We've even been as cold as 30 this morning, back up to 35 in the metro. And then you can see some spots, 20s showing up in a few locations. So the car thermometer may change a little bit as you're driving around, but all these numbers are a good 15 to 25 degrees warmer than the same time yesterday. So you'll notice the difference when you step out, and that's going to be the case all day. As we start mild and end mild, there's a little bit of a breeze today, but it's out of the northwest to start, out of the south to end, and this will actually help keep the numbers from falling too far again tonight. The south wind will work in our favor later on. So let me show you what it looks like for today. 10 to 11 to 12 o'clock, we're going to warm these numbers up. By noon, we're up to about 44 degrees. That would be a great day in its own right, but we should be able to climb to near 50. I think we can get to about 48, 49 for the high by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Aaron?
Some breaking news this morning. A fiery blaze erupting late last night, forcing crews to fight the flames for hours. This is a look at the scene. The fire broke out just before midnight. There was a lot of smoke and flames coming from the bumper and auto building. When Omaha Fire arrived at the scene, they started attacking that fire from inside the building. There were no injuries.
Also breaking, Council Bluffs police say the 86-year-old man who was reported missing has been found. 86-year-old Dale Haven was located safe in Albia, Iowa, just southeast of Des Moines. It is 7:28. We're back with another update for you in 25 minutes. We'll see you then.